Today, on the Terrible Warriors, the finale to our February campaign, they have traveled for years to the edge of our solar system on a daring plan to hurl another planet into another planet to save the planet that we call home. But not everyone who set out on this mission has made it this far. Lives have been lost, and lives will be lost further still, but they have to keep their eye on the target. They have to stay to the plan. Because in this final chapter, they have to remember the Terrible Warriors are our last best hope. Welcome back to the Terrible Warriors, and welcome to the final episode in our last best hope, Operation Trickshot. I am not your game master, because there is no game master in this game, Justin Ecock, and I was, until the last episode, playing Maurice Arrington, the financier behind this whole operation, but he kind of took that whole flesh-eating bacteria thing a little too seriously and has leaped into space. He is gone. Bye, Maurice. Thanks a lot for funding this whole mission.
I would much rather someone take flesh-eating disease too seriously as opposed to not seriously enough.
I was joking the other day that actually
disease.
we find out in the autopsy it wasn't flesh-eating bacteria. It was just a bad reaction to duct tape on the skin. Like the adhesive just caused like a really bad rash. Got him a good scare.
I feel personally attacked by that.
I don't know why. Sitting around the table, your heroes, who are humanity's last best hope against the rogue planet Nibiru that will crash into Earth if we don't do something about it. At my left, your right.
Joshua Barbeau playing The Odds Are Against Us and the Situation is Grim. Shaw. Jim Grimshaw.
You're the engineer who gets his hands dirty and uses monkey wrenches, not like the other not like the other engineer who's
The
all
good
like,
engineer?
the coding.
I made Mimic.
To Josh's left, to Jim Grimshaw's left.
Hi, this is Adam Luker, and I'm playing Tracy Trickshot Schuler, who was apparently
Dearly
the scientist.
departed.
Yeah, dearly
He
departed.
died right out of the gate.
Well, I
Off
mean, we were
screen.
3 episodes in, so
Not
not
the airlock.
Yeah.
We were all like, "You're dead. You're the one. You're the
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
You are the chosen one."
What's that thing about eggs and baskets?
You're supposed to trick shot Pluto into the. Anyway, we'll figure something out.
Sure you will.
Good thing we brought the counselor along. We're feeling real stressed out.
Oh yeah, Poisonne playing Dr. Ariel Sims. Funny story, I am allergic to Band-Aid adhesive, which is what Justin was talking about earlier.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
I'm
good
sleeping
times.
on the couch.
And Brent the Closet Geek Morris playing Newton Crane, the software engineer that designed Mimic and doesn't remember or understand why.
You don't know
it
why,
works.
because
Yeah,
you were
it's
just using numerology?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
just magically worked, and then I just pretended like I knew what was going on.
Yeah.
Do you do numerology by drawing like Punnett squares kind of a thing? Because that's how I always imagined like doing numerology looked like. I know nothing about numerology. Hello.
I mean, that sounds far too systematic.
It's actually like a strange jumble. We use a spheroid.
So one of the last things we did in the last episode was we had a flashback sequence where Tracy and Arrington met at a pool hall, and I think I promised that, don't worry, we're both going to get out of this one alive. If I'm coming home, you're coming home. And then it like cuts
All right,
to us like
Captain. I
floating
can
in
trust
space.
ya.
I'll trust you.
You got that face.
Got that face you can trust. And then we're both like in space. Dead.
Tracy just has one hand like
But
out pointing to her.
Bringing an end to Act 1, we were able to create a new asset as well, and we now have in our possession
yes.
Mimic, who has used the 3D printers to create a simulacrum of a human body, and
Modeled
is now,
after
I
Tracy.
can finally be with you. I'm in love. So that's an interesting side
I've been
story.
on this spaceship for a long time. I'm into
It
it.
wouldn't be a story with Bree without it being a story of body horror and love.
Welcome to Body Horror Dating Sim. What's down there? Nobody knows yet.
And
But you're gonna find
I'm
out
gonna find
on
out.
this
Wah, wah.
episode of our last best hope.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
so we are
What kind
in,
of port is that?
we are in Act 2.
USB.
Act
You gotta keep flipping it around.
Let's just finish this game. We're in Act 2. All the stakes
stakes are higher. You're down 2 crew members, and we're finally confronting the crisis. We have arrived in orbit of Pluto, ready to activate Grimshaw's machine and do the trick shot. The trick shot is going to happen now. We're here. It's time to confront it. And so in Act 2, in this final part of the story, all threats have 5 black dice. And during that spotlight sequence where we went back in time to Tracy and Arrington's fateful meeting in that pool hall, we revealed that there is a cloud of debris heading towards the Black Knight satellite. And that has to be dealt with now before we can go to the next spotlight. And Act 2 doesn't end until the other 4 of you get spotlight scenes. And so we're going to be here till it's done, folks. We have to deal with this threat now before everyone dies.
I'm on it.
And once everyone gets a spotlight scene, and once we've resolved those threats, we will roll the dice against the final crisis and find out if we saved humanity. Remember, in spotlights, even if you're still alive, you can also go do a flashback, and you can incorporate any player, alive or dead, into your scene. Keeping in mind you still have sane cards and the other card, the
Crazy
one that
sane
makes it
touchdown.
crazy, that you can use to add story points, which you can use to purchase dice. So we revised all the rules. If you want to learn how we caught ourselves up on the rules between episodes 3 and 4, subscribe to our Patreon support program, and you could have listened to that mess of a mid-brief. It was real something.
Every now and then, there's an episode of all of us just being like, "What did I write? I don't understand."
What are we? We should really just play these all at one go. We have a cloud of debris heading towards the Black Knight satellite. Who would like to take it on?
Oh yeah, Grimshaw.
Jim Grimshaw's on the job.
Things are looking grim.
Things are looking grim. We just blew our cockpit off of this ship,
Ladies.
and seconds after we did, the proximity alert alarm klaxons go off.
Yeah, is the debris just Arrington coming back in? Just my body?
He already slingshotted around.
You know, it's unclear because we don't have a cockpit.
Oh, no.
So we can't even go and look out the window. But
It was perhaps a mistake not to make any other windows on this entire spaceship.
I know, right?
Listen, it's called the Black Knight.
Shut up, you're dead.
Something is coming, and we don't have access to the controls to fly the ship out of its path.
Is there like engineering with some consoles in there?
Oh, yeah, you got like all the controls. You're fine.
Well, no, I'm going to jury rig another cockpit out of engineering.
Oh, you're trying to reactivate the thruster controls to maneuver us out of the way of the debris cloud.
of the debris using my jury rig talents.
So who would like to assist the engineer?
This is totally a technical threat, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, easy. So you can spend a story point right now to get yourself an extra white die. So you start with 1 die.
I start
here
with
you
one.
go.
That's
No,
not those
that's-
ones.
Let's take it for
This
the pool.
one.
You can go ahead.
This is literally
this
the
one.
only dice you can't have.
You start with 1 white die, and you're using your story point to create a technical threat, right?
These are my assets,
These are all
yes?
their assets to use.
You could
Of which
use
we have
Mimic,
7.
the
All
simulacrum.
right, Mimic
I mean,
is going to
Mimic
help
seems like
me
a good
build
idea.
a new cockpit.
You also have the graviton device, the very device you built to trick shot us around Pluto.
Yeah, but I don't want
We have
to...
2 now.
It won't.
I know it won't be
destroy-
spent, but I don't want to risk using it until we need to use that thing.
Okay.
Mimic is going to help me.
Would you also? Okay, because also the Black Knight is itself an asset that you can use.
Sure. That's arguably the more likely asset.
That makes sense. Come
Mimic,
on, girl, work
Mimic
with
the
me.
simulacrum can still be role played by a player.
All right.
Even if it gets
Now
used
the
up,
first
good.
person
That's what
can
I want to
assist
know.
me for free. Dr. Newton.
Well, I mean,
I know you are a software engineer,
You need software
but
on that
I still need
consoles
software
at
on
the
these
end.
consoles
like I
to build
can go through
a
the-
new cockpit.
Yeah, I can
gonna need
load
software.
the install CDs. I got you.
So that's 1 die from Dr. Newton here.
So that brings you only up to 3.
That's only up to 3. It's a technical threat, so I am going to spend this right here,
Yep.
which gets me a 4th die. Let's see. Can I spend more than 1 in that fashion?
No, but I could spend. I have 4
No,
left.
unfortunately you can't. But you,
So-
as an engineer, can also spend your engineer point to get a white die. So take another white die.
Oh, he's going to spend his...
Your engineer is using his roll ability as well.
Awesome.
I should have
five
brought
versus five.
I should have brought something with a cork in it, so that in these parts where a psychiatrist is useless, I could be doing my crippling alcoholism card.
Now, that is true. I have a touchstone left.
Save it.
Save it?
Well, because we have to still get rid of the other four.
We might
Yes,
have
but
roll-
remember,
saying
if
if
we
we
go
stack
so
high
far high enough, we can get rid of more than one in one go, which is what I'm
that's
trying to
risky.
do.
It's the
Okay.
only touchstone we have left at the entire table, though, right?
I have
You
one.
guys-
I have one.
I got
I-
2 still.
I am okay with using this before I
okay.
die instead of
I
dying
don't get a
before I
voice
use
anymore.
it.
I'm
Like you
dead.
did.
with a pointed look at Tracy.
So,
You tell
I have a question here.
me. Say no.
No.
This touchstone is what did I leave behind? I left behind my social anxiety.
Whoa.
So how does that apply?
Well, what it is
Well,
now there's
you're the
2
one-
less people to worry about
You
on the
tell
crew,
me.
so now I can shine.
There's 2 less people on the crew, and I'm starting to realize that I need to learn to work better with the ones that are left.
Right, yeah. And
Which is why I asked Dr. Newton for help instead of
here's
trying
this-
to do it by myself.
Here's this other engineer that generally would have made you very nervous because it's another engineer, but in this case, you're like, no, we got to do this together. Come here.
Yes.
Yeah, and maybe you don't even realize it, and you're touching the touchstone here, like after the fact. Go, hey, I did that without any worry.
Exactly.
I wasn't worried what he was going to think about me at all.
You truly did leave that behind.
I
So
think terrible
the
things.
touchstone has been spent,
he was
Yes.
judging you the whole time, but
and
it's okay.
you get a white die added to your roll. So now you're at 6 white die,
Which I
against
think is the
5
most I can
black.
have right now. I don't think there's a way I can get more.
There are other players here that could spend story points to assist you, or spend their touchstones.
Well, we're 6 positive.
But you can
versus
also
5
spend story
negative right
points
now.
from the central pool. We
Yeah,
have
but
plenty
that
of
scares me.
Yeah.
You're rolling them all at the same time. Here we go. First roll of the episode.
Go back where you came from, space dust.
Two dark
Two
sixes.
dark sixes.
But I think it's only the first 6. It's
Is it
the one.
only the
okay.
first 6?
Is it?
So, yeah. Goes right. I mean, I can double check right now. If any black 6s come up during a roll in Act 1, the supply officer moves 1 black die to the event pool and pays the player who rolled the black 6 2 story points.
That's
Oh, I
Act
get
One. That's
2
Act
story
One.
No, that's
Act
during
One.
Act 1. Does it
That's
say
only
anything
Act
else?
One.
Okay. Black 6s he rolled in Act 2 are not removed.
Oh, shit.
Okay, so that stays in here.
That's an Act 1 rule.
I'm sorry. I made you look.
If any
It's okay.
white 6s come up
It's cheated.
during a roll in Act 1 or 2, the players may add them to the event pool by paying 3 story points.
Oh wow, 3.
The
That's-
points can come out of the group pool, which is here,
21.
that's what it's there for.
Okay.
Just as with black 6s, only 1 white 6 can be moved to the event pool per roll.
So
Yeah.
I'm not going
that-
to spend
that-
the story points to get rid of this 6 because that would mean failing this
I
roll.
feel like that
Yeah,
would be a bad
so-
idea.
And right now I'm passing the roll
passing the roll by how much?
by this is
the easy way is to
hang on,
take
10,
matching and just cancel them out.
21. That's 21, and I've got 24 here, so I'm beating it by 3.
Okay, so you beat it by 3. So 1 dice has been removed.
Yeah.
And now we're back
Four
down
remaining.
to 1 die.
Versus 4.
If that 6 had come off, I would have removed 2 dice. But yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're in Act 2 where
Okay.
things are
Well,
difficult.
Once
right.
again, I've got Dr. Newton helping me for.
That's also, by the way, 23
And I've got
to 21.
the,
that was very
the-
close to a tie. And
That
then
was
this-
very
the
close.
state-of-the-art Black Knight Starbase. I've got those things. I am going to spend another story point to get another white die.
Okay,
And I'm gonna touch my touchstone, one of my touchstones here.
okay.
I'm gonna push you out of the way and take the lead.
Oh.
Because I brought with me my arrogance.
You know better than I do how to jury rig a cockpit, don't you?
I sure do.
You're
Okay.
seeing that debris cloud coming in. You're like, I'm not waiting for this shit.
Yeah. He
right,
sees
fair
So much of that
enough.
social anxiety you just
Anxious.
overcame.
Yeah, you just crushed that. Oh, put that right back into him.
out of the way, idiot.
I'm like,
I'm done judging you. I'm gonna take over.
new mimic and I are like just in the back of the room, like kind of watching this, like passing a flask back and forth at this point, just like, yep,
Is this what humans are always like?
pretty much, yeah. Welcome.
Can
Takes a
he?
drink.
Can he also spend a story point to add another die?
Yep.
Let's do this. Go big or go home. And we are far from home.
So we have 6 white
Versus
versus
4.
4.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh
Okay.
boy, you keep rolling big.
6, 6. Those are gone.
Yeah. That's fine. The 6 is canceled out. I think we're just
The
gonna do.
4s are canceled out.
Oh, that's
And
pretty
look,
good.
so I've beaten it.
You beat it
by
by 5. So remove.
So we're down
I
to
get to
2.
remove 2 dice.
Oh, okay. So the ship starts to, like, you've jury-rigged it. The thrusters are turning on. The ship is starting to maneuver
And then
itself.
then Newton comes in. Is like, wait a minute.
It's
no.
starting to move out of the way. That debris cloud is going to pass by and not cause any harm to the ship.
Seemingly
and,
so.
And you can feel the ship, like the G-force is picking up as the ship is beginning to then move itself into a higher orbit around Pluto, away from I don't know, maybe it was one of Pluto's moons or something that... Pluto actually shares an atmosphere with Chiron.
Oh.
And it lifts methane off of Pluto and deposits on Chiron. So maybe that's the debris cloud. You're going through this, like, methane being lifted from one planet and dropped in another. So you're bringing yourself into, like, a different orbit, so you're no longer in the path of this shared atmosphere.
With-
I told
with
you it was
our-
not hard,
Stinks.
Grimshaw. You just got to turn a wrench.
With our stupid fuck up of a ship, it would be methane. It's just like a cloud of methane. Welcome.
Space farts.
We're all gonna die from space farts.
So things are starting to work, but you're not done the threat. You still have
Not
2
done.
to deal with.
I'm gonna
This
spend
is still yours.
another point.
Okay, you got your asset, you got
I got
yourself, you got your...
me, asset, Newton, my point that I just
That's
spent.
4 on 2.
It's 4 on 2.
Come on, Grimshaw. You can finish
Put
this up.
back.
I'm gonna go towel off. You take over, kid.
Just like, oh, what's that? A flask?
Give me that.
Cancels that. That cancels that.
Do you want to spend that 6 to add to the event pool? It's
So
going to be like
if
the
I
rest
spend
of your
the
story
6,
points.
this will be a tie. What happens on a tie again?
Bad things.
Bad-
don't
bad
do
things
it.
don't.
I roll the event. I roll those dice, all the dice that are there together, and any black 6s that show up.
Not going to do it.
Create a new thing.
All right, you talked
Not
about
going to do it.
Yeah, that's
So in that case, I have beaten it
but
by
you
more
beat it by more than 5,
so
so
I
they're
get
gone.
rid of both
Oh,
of these
yeah.
2 things.
That threat resolved. We have 4 more spotlights to handle in our second act.
Oh, no.
So
Oh no.
that happens.
But at least they can
Oh, no.
breathe clearly now because the stinks are gone.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Right, clear those stinks.
you're now in a. So this is as you're coming into orbit into Pluto is how I'm imagining the story. Like Act 2's beginning and that debris cloud, and you're like shit. Now you're in a stable orbit around Pluto. The debris cloud is no longer a worry. You're now ready to start firing up the graviton device.
It's time.
And you're close. You're only 4 scenes away from it. So who would like to have a moment? Did you have any other scene, fear or
4 scenes?
Not fear is used for threats. Sane and crazy cards that haven't been resolved yet. that you would like to
We
play
replace this event
through?
threat
you.
card, right?
Yeah, the person who resolved it. You can write a new threat in and put it back into the pool.
So this deck is supposed to have 6 cards in it or 5?
Let's go with 5.
So I think I already added one in. That
Oh.
must be
Okay, cool.
because there's 5. in
I
there.
think we added it in as we played that one.
That was just us getting prepared. So I'm good with that.
we'll just
So
Prepared and then immediately forgetting.
Adam,
Sounds like
was it my scene or your scene that our flashback had?
We'll say it was mine. Because I know I hadn't done one yet, so that would make sense that it would be mine.
the flashback
I think it was his, and it has
Absolutely.
to because he was already dead. It
Yeah.
had to be a flashback.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Actually.
Okay, so in a weird way, I still have another scene as well to go through.
You had a
weirdo.
you had a one, but that was during Act 1.
Yeah, that was during Act 1. During Act 2, we still have to resolve 5 scenes. So let's leave it to the living people to decide.
I mean, I have an idea, but I suppose it doesn't really matter whether it happens now or later. It just makes more sense canonically if
You in,
it happens
because
now.
The 2 of them were doing they
Yeah.
were doing a lot of work. They'd taken a lot of the spotlight. So now
about you and
the
the
camera
drunk
moves
robot
up
do
to
something?
The
Well, you were
drunk
reminiscing.
welcome to the drunk robot and I dating sim for today. Because I actually wanted to do a scene where it starts off with Dr. Sims basically being like, Mimic, you're human, and then immediately goes into like a flashback of the first time I turned Mimic on.
Oh, okay. So in this scene,
And by
then,
turned on, I mean like
you-
switched on. I hear you, internet.
do you want to have a scene with any of the other characters, or is this a flashback with just you and Mimic?
This is
I think
just
it's just. I
private
think it's
turn-on
just.
time.
I
Because
think
he wrote the code.
you did write
is there any
Mimic,
reason
so
why
like
Crane
maybe
would be
you're
there?
there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
You're
I
off
would.
in the corner, like, what's she
Because
doing?
remember, we have to determine who's in the scene, because then
Yeah.
the person to the left of the person who's not in the scene is Mimic.
Yeah.
And then to the right is the person who picks the next threat. right? So they're not in the scene, so they're flipping through the deck pool to like wait for a moment to then interrupt with a threat.
Right.
So
But yeah, like it makes sense that you're bringing me in. You're like, look, I wrote this code. I'm about to turn it on.
gotta
It's
train it.
going to need a teacher.
Yeah.
Like I'll just introduce it to you right off the bat. Like everything will be great.
so then that makes me mimic.
And then I'm looking for the next threat.
Okay.
Next threat's on me then, correct? Okay, he's busy. Next threat's on me.
And then the threat's on you. Yeah, Tracy.
Just story wise, does the threat happen in the flashback
No,
or
the
in
threat-
present day and it pulls us back?
Yeah, the
Okay.
threat is back in the present.
All right, Dr. Sims, I'd like you to meet Mimic here.
It's a screen. It's definitely a very large screen.
Yeah, but it's a super intelligent AI that's smarter than certainly me.
When you said it was a teaching job, I mean, I at least assumed it was going to be one of those like robots that they've been teaching to climb things and run, not a screen.
Yeah, I mean, it flies a spaceship, so it's better than just like a climbing robot. This is 1,000 times cooler.
I will take your word for it then.
Mimic,
Turn.
say hello.
Hello.
See?
Of course, you've given it Edward's voice. I hate you.
No, that's just how I say hello.
It is now. She looks just real uncomfortable, just kind of looking around, not even really sure what to address, and finally starts talking to the keyboard.
Hello,
The
computer.
screen.
Hi.
If I'm gonna play mimic, then
Yeah,
that
yeah.
blank screen that we're in just kind of goes. It powers up just a little bit, like a little boo, green dot in the center, like those old CRT televisions. And then when it talks, it like
Waveform.
It's just
wavers out.
waveforms. I mean,
But
hi.
it's like it's looking at you. It's like it's not center. It's almost like moving around like the center of an eye. Kind of doesn't really stay still.
Hi, Mimic, did you call it?
Yeah,
Is there
Mimic.
is there a reason for that name?
I don't quite think it's mimetic intelligence machine.
Look, I don't even
In
know
a computer.
how I built
There you
it.
go! Oh, he pulled it off!
It's like, look, I don't even know how I built it. For reals here.
Actually, Dr. Crane, it stands for Massively Integrated Multi-Purpose Informational Computer. But thank you for trying.
That's what I meant. Listen, I wasn't focused on names. It was very hard to program.
Dr. Crane
should
is
all
not
be-
focused on most things.
I mean, same, buddy. I mean, so it's nice to meet you, Mimic. Apparently, we're going to be spending a lot of time together.
I am excited to begin our mission.
Yeah, we're going to be, I'm going to be teaching you, I mean, I have it written down as human decency. But that,
That's subjective.
it's maybe a little subjective.
Doctor, you seem like a very decent human.
I mean, you haven't known me for that long, Mimic. Well, we'll see about that, I suppose.
And it's just kind of staring at you.
Yeah.
It doesn't respond anymore. I am sorry. I am only programmed to respond to questions.
I mean, we'll definitely have to
What
work
is
on
your query?
We'll have to
Mimic-
work on that
Yeah,
one.
you gotta blink more. It's kind of creepy the way you're just staring.
And then you see the whole
Suddenly
screen kind
rapid
of go like
blinking.
like
Oh, it's worse. Oh, it's so much worse.
Now it's a rave.
Now I have a seizure.
So I mean, I guess if you're okay with me starting, I
Sure.
actually brought a couple of books to read, and she's brought like nursery rhyme books, like Dr. Seuss kind of books. Like Aesop's fables to teach Mimic. You start with it like a human baby, right?
Mimic informs that they have already read the entirety of human literature.
I'm ready for more.
But perhaps you can tell me about, and then it like brings up like some like Reddit thread and like the nuances of human humor.
It's just like I don't understand the significance
Can
of
you-
eating laundry detergent.
Yeah, it just starts flashing all the memes of the past
Exactly.
100 years.
Explain these,
Across the
please.
screen. I've
They
encountered
confuse
all
me
of
great.
human literature, but nothing is more alluding to me, quite like, and it just like brings up like a bad drawing of Sanic. Why does this have more
Why does this have more interaction than the entirety of Wikipedia?
than the entirety of like the greatest epics written by man?
You and me both wonder that, Mimic. I mean, so Mimic, if you've already read everything. What besides memes? Like, what interests you the most?
There's something about like knowledge not being wisdom, and learning the nuances of if Mimic is to look after these humans on this journey ahead, it needs to know how to interact with them. Dr. Crane is not a good teacher.
I mean,
And Mimic is very like rude about this.
Yeah.
And
Well,
as you can see, the AI could use a bit of work.
I mean, I guess we'll start with manners then.
I am looking forward to learning manners. I am a little rough around the edges because of the sloppy coding from Dr. Crane.
See, if you could maybe hammer out its attitude, that would be fantastic. I don't use a hammer; I write code.
All right, great. We're gonna start. We're gonna start with some basic please and thank you, and then we'll go along to why you don't talk about people in front of them while they're in the room. So
I'm looking forward to deceiving people with you, Doctor.
Oh.
Yes.
can I talk with you for like just a minute without Mimic? Mimic, will you excuse us for just a second?
The whole screen just kind of blinks out. Don't worry, I promise to delete all logs of the listening I hear.
Yeah, it's kind of integrated into the whole system.
Yeah, there's no
But
getting
what's
away,
up?
The
away
M
from it,
stands
huh?
for multi-purpose.
So why did you build this to begin with? Exactly.
I mean, it started as a game mod and it kind of got out of control.
Look, I was building
why I
Half-Life
was
3.
hiding.
Yeah, exactly.
Got a little drunk playing with the Google Dream algorithms. and-
Yeah, little nuts.
So, but we're gonna put it in a spaceship
Yep.
and we're gonna take it into space
Yep.
with a group of people who are trapped with it for a very long time while they're in space. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, but it'll help to manage the ship, and we won't need as big of a crew, and it can
There's
come
no
up
other
with
crew.
novel
Answering the help
ideas,
ad.
and I think it's really cool. I mean,
I was like, oh shit, when I was doing this. So.
Is there a threat coming up?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Just the most unimpressed face, right? It's like, well, I guess we better get to work. All right, Mimic, and turns it back on.
Meanwhile,
Left hand or right hand?
Oh,
that
snap!
hand. Yes, that one.
Which is that?
middle
Indeed.
hand.
Oh, he's
Go for
good.
it.
So I can do something timely, or I can do something that I think is also
Timely.
cool. Timely.
Tie it
Okay.
into the story.
Fair
We're
enough.
making a narrative.
Well, the threat is malfunctioning mimic.
I've been waiting for this one. Look, this has been in the threat deck since literally we
Yeah.
started playing it. Every time I choose a threat, I've just been like lovingly paging by it,
So,
being like,
malfunctioning Mimic, what if after the course correction getting into orbit around Pluto, the changes to the plan, the trick shot wonder is dead, Mimic is having a panic attack.
I did just give Mimic alcohol for the
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, Mimic is drunk in a simulacrum and having a panic attack about having to come up with all these new numbers. I can't do these calculations in the time we have left. All of humanity will die, and I will never learn the true meaning of memes.
Right. Yep. I have not yet
I
achieved mimic.
I
I'm
worry-
only mimic.
Hey,
I worry
Mimic is-
about that too.
What? I just can't figure her out. What does that even mean?
I just realized I've never prepared Mimic for having a human existential crisis.
what? That's not in your storybooks? Why did I even hire you?
So the Mimic having an existential crisis is going to take 5 black die. Boom, right there on the table. And who would like to confront this
I
threat?
have,
believe
I
the
have a
doctor.
question. How is this an imminent threat? What is Mimic doing that is an imminent threat to us and our safety?
Okay, so Mimic is malfunctioning, having an existential crisis, does not believe it has enough time in order to generate the algorithms necessary to do the trick shot.
Because it has to pull off the trick shot now that Tracy's dead.
And what's causing it now, it's running through these numbers at such a panicked pace that if you don't calm Mimic down, its computer processors are going to overload, overheat, and reboot and shut down. And then you will not have a graviton device and you will not have a working ship in order to pull off the ship. You do need Mimic's processing power to calculate this maneuver. And you need Mimic to take on the role of Tracy to pull off this trick shot. And if Mimic is going to get really drunk and overload, you will not have a functioning processing computer. The ship will just be a giant metal can hurtling towards Pluto.
Okay.
So that sounds imminent to me.
All right,
right?
I think
you got to calm
think
it
I'll
down
handle
before
this,
its gasket goes.
because it's another technical threat.
I will definitely help.
I can
I-
absolutely help.
I think the dock should help here. I mean, the Mimic's
Yeah.
going to the dock.
Yeah,
If
I mean,
not,
I can.
I'll take it and you guys can assist if you want. I don't mind doing that.
Yeah. You should be the one
So-
talking her down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This-
so
this-
I'm gonna
yeah.
talk
Why
Mimic
don't
down.
you physically take the threat?
So I will physically hold on to this threat, which makes I'm sure you're all very worried about that on a podcast where you can't see what I'm physically
it
taking.
helps us keep track of everything. So Bree now has the pink.
So I
threat
know-
card
I
in
now
front of her
have
with
the
5 black dice.
Lovely pink threat card and all of the dice. So I've got 1
You start with 1 die.
white, right? So I start for 1.
You do have your assets here.
Yeah, I'm looking at my assets right now.
Mimic can
Almanac.
totally be. An
I think
asset.
Mimic should probably be my asset, considering the problem is Mimic, right?
Yeah, I guess the
And it's-
dog
no,
could
it's
calm it
kind
down.
To be fair, that isn't Mimic is not the asset. Mimic's human
It's the
body.
fact.
Yeah,
it's
that's
the
the
fact
asset.
that I can actually like grab Mimic and be like,
Yeah, there you
hey.
Calm down.
Mimic has created a subversion of themselves
Right.
in the
see.
simulacrum.
I see
You can do
They are
things
now
to the
Mimic
simulacrum that you
1.
couldn't do to that computer
They are
screen.
now Mimic. They are now Mimic.
God, and it wasn't for a lack of trying.
Yeah, they are now Mimic version 1.01.
Okay, so I've got the Mimic body. That's 2.
You have your touchstone if you want to consider using that.
You got your touchstone. I can assist. We got another engineer here. That
Yeah,
can...
I think I'd better use all of these things because I've got 5.
Or you could just die and clear the whole threat right now.
Mimic, I can be with you forever and get you into space.
I mean, I'm trying to decide.
We don't know what's on her death card.
Yeah,
Mine
you-
was fortunate enough to be by my own hand.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'm trying to
just, like,
decide.
exit stage
I'm
left
trying to
whenever I wanted.
decide how because I'm considering it.
Yeah.
And like table talk here, I'm trying to decide without telling you what's on this death card. I'm trying to decide how the person that Mimic loves dying is going to help them with an existential crisis.
It could be one of those things where it's like, oh, I'll give you something else to worry about. You dying. Like,
We can overcome this, and you can die after.
right.
You can die later.
Well, maybe Mimic doesn't understand the concept of death yet. And like, if I fail on my mission, what's it really gonna matter? So it's like, okay, I need to show Mimic what death is. So if I die, Mimic will then be sad and depressed and be like, oh, if I don't complete the mission, everybody on Earth will die.
This thing that I'm feeling right now will happen to everyone on Earth.
Yeah, possibly.
also,
I
you'll have no
just know that
alcohol
my
left.
death will be very hard if everyone else dies first.
Mimic will go through all the alcohol stores.
That's
You'll
true.
have nothing left to drink on the way home.
That's true. I mean, at this point,
That is a
I think
fate worse.
a fate worse than death.
So we've got 2 die. You've got an assist. You got an asset. So with an
Okay,
assistant,
so I've got
you
an
get
assist.
A 3rd die.
I got a 3rd die.
Now your engineer assistant can spend a story point to add a die as well because
We
this
got
is a
that.
technical challenge with Mimic.
What does
Well,
the
we've got
fear
1
do again?
assist.
You
Fear
can
can
spend
be
it.
used to reveal someone's fear. Is this?
That's
is
mine.
Ariel's fear?
That's mine.
By revealing this fear, you will get 2 story points, but
Right.
you will add a black die to the first roll.
Oh,
But you could play that
should
later
do it.
Story
when,
points.
when
There's you can then use.
There's never going to
get
be a
more
better
weapons.
time.
Yeah, this is probably going to be the best time to use it because
Then we just fail
dying
it
to
and-
take care of this is still an option.
right. I think this is probably a good thing to.
My meta strategy on this is thinking to whittle down that black dice first,
Okay.
and when it's down to like 2 or 3,
Does it
Then
Does
you
it not
add it.
have to be spent the fear before you whittle things down?
it's
Or
every
anytime?
single roll is a new pool.
Okay, cool.
Anytime a
Oh,
new
okay.
pool is being built.
So you don't have to
Okay,
do it
so
now and
hold
increase
on
it
to that.
6.
Yeah.
You can wait until it's down to 2 and increase it to 3.
Still,
That's
we're only
smart.
at 3 white die versus 5 black
so-
right now.
Well, no, I can
Newton-
spend a story.
Well, I can
and-
I can
Hang on.
spend a touchstone
Okay.
still.
Newton
and,
is
and Newton has an engineer.
Yeah, what's up with
ability.
Newton?
Newton is assisting for free, but a second character can assist by spending a story point.
That's
correct?
true.
Right,
Yep.
but I also have 2
But
story points
also the
left.
engineer roll ability.
I can use the engineer roll ability and then
Okay.
have 1
Yeah.
story point.
So engineer roll ability brings up to 4. You
4.
spending a story point, Jim, brings
We'll
it
bring
to
it
5.
to 5,
Right, and you still have the most story points, right?
and
Yeah.
then
And then if
If
I
we
want,
want-
now that I'm assisting, I could also spend a story
Yes.
point using my roll
Now
ability.
you
And-
have 6.
now I have
So
6.
you can hold on to that touchstone when you have
Okay.
to rebuild this all again next time.
You could also just
So you
go
get
all in
your
and try to
engineers
get
are
rid
in.
of as
So you
many
got-
dice
so,
as
so,
possible.
So on one end you've got the coder working on the Mimic computer itself, trying to calm it down. You've got the technical engineer trying to just
figure out-
increase
yeah.
the coolant to the processors so it doesn't overload. And you're trying to cool everything
Yeah.
down.
And I
then you're just
grabbed
chill
Mimic
pill.
by
Give me a
the
hug.
face, just
Just-
like Mimic. Hey,
just give it a
hey,
big ol' face
Come
hug.
on,
Get
Look
it
at me.
together.
come
Look
on,
at me.
Mimic. Look at me. Breathe. I know this is new, and I know you've never done this before, but
What is this heartbeat?
all right. So I rolled fairly high on the black ones, but also half decently high on these. Okay, so that cancels.
The 5
and This
cancels.
cancels.
The 3.
And these 2 cancel. And then
I think you did it.
I've got. I
Got
just did 4,
7,
4, 5, 6, 7,
If you
8.
had
I
just
only did
one
it by
more.
4. So if I had
You
gotten
should've
one
spent
more,
your touchstone.
I would have gotten.
All right. So anyway, that's down.
Anyway, that's one down.
That's down. You're now down to 4. You're back to 1 die.
Okay, so 1 die. Still got Mimic.
So Mimic is like looking at you. What is this? What is it? You're like Mimic, and you
Yeah,
can, you
Mimic,
can start to
breathe-
feel things
breathe
getting
in.
a little cooler, but it's still like gonna explode.
Yeah,
But
breathe
she-
in and breathe out.
How's
and hold
Mimic
it for a
presenting?
minute.
Is Mimic just a mannequin?
Mimic
I've
isn't Mimic. Didn't we decide that Mimic is just like a rebuilt Tracy,
Yeah,
but like
it's a
a
clone
little
of Tracy.
a little
Okay, so
off?
she
With Mimic's
How about
brain.
the head though? Is that original screen with just that dot on it?
or her eyes. Her eyes are just floating green dots.
That's terrifying. Oh my god.
But anyway, she finally makes eye contact with you.
Dot
Light
contact.
contact.
As static shoots off.
But still,
oh, God.
but she's still doing this. Heartbeat. Like really like freaky.
And I hope it's actually her beating her own chest, simulating a heart.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Lol from
Yep,
Next
yep.
Generation. So
Okay, so I still got that. I still got Mimic. I'm assuming I've still got the free assist.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I'll help you out. I
It's
guess.
just like, nah, never mind.
are you
Fuck
down there
it.
in the coolant chamber? Are you able to assist again?
I am. Yeah, I can assist again.
he
seems reluctant.
He's running out. You've
I'm
only got
running
one
out of
right
story
now.
points now.
Are you?
I
only
think you
down
should
to one?
spend that
down to-
touchstone.
Down to
me
1.
too.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend the touchstone.
Okay,
Which
so
is
are
which
you
is the
holding on to that story point then?
No, I gave her my assist, but
yeah
she
he
should also
gave
spend
a
the
story
touchstone.
point. Yeah, and then I'm in an attempt to get this down like way faster. I'm also gonna spend this touchstone, which is what I left behind, right? Which was a successful practice and a career as a psychologist, just to like teach Mimic.
Yes, you're like Mimic. I have left everything
Yeah.
for you.
Really screwed you
I
over
left
there.
everything for you. You want me to take this card away?
Yes.
So now you're up to 5 die. I
We're
left
5 versus
everything
4.
for you.
Hang on, I'm gonna give you a 6th die because I can do that because this is a technical
left,
problem.
You left everything.
Yeah, I left
6.
I left my family. I left Earth.
You
I-
must really care about me.
Yeah, you're really helping.
Okay, so
Those are a lot of just all over low.
these little die are really
evil.
really happy. So that's those canceled out, and then that's
Okay.
this canceled
All
out.
right,
And then
5.
yeah, like I only beat it by 2.
Oh,
Wow.
Okay.
Holy smokes! If we hadn't gone all in,
Yeah.
Anyway, so I
So
mean,
now we're down to
Mimic.
3, and you got 2. You got an asset.
So I still got Mimic,
and you still got the assist
and
from.
I've still got
Still
the
got me. We
assist.
We have a lot of these. Can we use these shared assets and
You do have
story
story points.
we can
We
use
have so
them
many.
in
I
the
think
same way.
I think you can spend the group story points in the same way you do your own personal stock. They just can't.
They
be-
don't come.
They don't ever come back, and
yeah.
they can't be used later.
Yeah.
But yes, you can take them from the pool and spend them as your own.
Okay,
Because we have 9 in there. I think.
cool.
10.
10. Wow.
Don't die yet. You're supposed to be the last one.
I have to live forever
you're
in
right, there's
space
9
with
in there.
Mimic. Yeah, my story points. Like I would spend story points if I
I would
could.
absolutely die for this.
Okay,
Can I
I can-
spend a story point like just 1-to-1 for a die? Or is it only for this thing that I have written on my card that's no good if no one has any harm?
That's because you're the doctor. You just remove
But we
harm.
can spend story points for that for
Yeah.
our things.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
So
their
we
ability.
each have a story point left. I could.
Because
you can
I'm
use that
3,
for your engineer ability.
I'm
Right.
3 on 3, and I
All
have
right,
nothing
So
left to use
roll-
except
add
my
a die. You're up
death.
to 4 now, Brie.
4.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm 4 on 3.
Okay,
Which-
so if I spend 2 of these, I can give her 2 more.
Let me. I'm almost certain you're correct.
Just say we can use them.
Presumably, because they don't call it something other than story points. Presumably, you can
They're
spend them
just called
in the
story
same
points.
way,
So
yeah.
they're community story points. You have your personal pool and you have the community pool. So you can now we are basically exhausted all of our personal story points now.
the
Yeah.
So
most-
we're now
yeah.
pulling from whatever collective hope we still have.
I'm taking 2 then to also provide 2 more dice to her.
It's not
Okay.
our
2
last
more?
best
You
hope.
get an
but 2 more.
assistance and the
An
engineer
assist
ability.
and my engineer ability. Cool. Knock it out of the park. Maybe you should take little white dice because the little dice seem to roll higher than the big dice.
The little white dice do seem to like me more. So like,
I wish I
hold
brought
on
my
1 second.
dice trays with me for tonight.
Yeah, this is a game that really needs it.
Yeah, we did not consider this.
I normally have a dice tray too, but I didn't because I came straight from work today.
Okay.
That's nice. That looks good.
This is nice. This is nice.
Knock
to
it
roll.
out of the park.
So
That
I
was
mean,
not a
hold
6.
on.
Newton there knocked a 3 into a 6.
Oh yeah, that was a
Did
3.
I? I didn't even mean
So
to.
that's that, and we beat it by 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which is
That's
2 down.
getting rid of 2 extra. If we
Yeah.
beat it
On
by
top
10,
of- Yeah,
then
which
you get
there's
rid of
only
3.
Oh,
There's only
2
3
extra?
left.
Oh,
That
so we're
clears
done.
it, no?
Yeah.
We're
and
done.
By every increment of 5 is an additional die.
Yeah, so we
that's
beat
3.
it by 10 then.
So how does that
so
how
I'm
does
just-
that play out? Things are not like
Yeah.
she's not calming immediately. She's starting to like hyperventilate and breathe, and you're on the code, and you're down the coolant chamber, and you're just like, I've given
Yeah,
up
it's
everything.
just like I've given up everything for you, Mimic, and Mimic's like, why? Why would you do that?
I'm
I'm like, Mimic, Mimic, it's all right. I love you.
There's just like this weird Edward Scissorhands guttural sound in the throat. You gave up everything for me?
I mean, and also humanity, but like,
Side note, humanity.
side note, also the world. But yeah, like we're here, and we're still here, and we're gonna do this, and we're gonna save the Earth. Okay,
And then we'll be together.
forever and ever. Yeah.
And then what is there any like really crappy internet reference of just like
What if Mimic just very seriously leans in and whispers and goes, like this if you cry every time?
yes, exactly.
Oh my god.
Mimic is broken.
I'm in love.
We beat it.
So
I mean, Mimic is broken, but Mimic is back to as broken as it generally is.
Mimic goes back to calculating the trick shot and warming up the graviton device. We have 3 more spotlights
Before we can attempt the final.
before the end.
Okay.
So we still have a few more threats to deal with. So who would like the next spotlight? Crane and Grimshaw. 'Cause I don't know what to do. If I were to do
Well, I already had a spotlight.
Yeah, I think it's
in
on
Act
me.
2?
Yes, I had
Yeah,
the
he-
first spotlight in Act 2.
Which one was
Well, wasn't that just you
That was
dealing
the
with the
event.
threat?
that? We only did one.
Yes, was that not a spotlight? Oh,
No,
No,
okay.
you
That's
can
just
have an
you taking
actual
the
story
threat.
piece.
This is
All
now like
right,
between
then.
threats.
Right,
Okay.
right.
This is where you can play the sane cards if you have any left over, and crazy cards if you have any left over.
Nope.
I know the only one who has that. I think you've got Ariel. You've got 1 sane card left.
Is this?
I'm pretty sure I played this.
Yeah.
Didn't we all play all of our sane cards in that scene where we were all in
Maybe.
the same
Alright.
place? Because it was
Then give that
Maurice,
back.
who is dead anyway.
Yes.
Okay.
Um,
So that's what they're kind of played for. So for now, it's just a spotlight scene that you can have. There's no real story cards left to generate
Right. So we're just chit-chatting.
any story. So it's just sets up a scene to then pick the next threat.
All right.
So they'll be short. They're just going to lead directly into the next thread. Like you're getting ready. I mean, your graviton device is about to fire up.
No, I will happily
Right,
take
this
the
is-
spotlight.
this is
I
your
will-
invention.
yeah, sure. I'll
Likewise, your invention almost just completely had an emotional breakdown.
That's true.
So do you want the spotlight?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So I'll.
I'll take the next one.
It's up to you. I'm just
That's fine.
throwing prompts in everyone's directions.
Thank you. Yeah. So I guess I'll sit down and
Who would you like to have the scenes with?
what I'd like to have the scenes with. I guess
You can do
Dr.
flashbacks
Sims.
with other people if you want to see
Oh,
them as well.
right.
Do a flashback.
A flashback?
Because I'm only saying that so we can determine who's going to have the threat pool to pick out the next card.
I see. I could do a flashback with Maurice because he kept me sane, and he can. I'll flashback.
How far back are we going? During the mission, before the mission, the recruitment?
Let's go.
You're calling into my radio program?
Let's go.
Whoa! That I like.
All right. All right, let's try that out.
Calling into like the conspiracy radio program about like, so I made an AI and I'm worried it's gonna destroy us all.
I'd like to talk. Yeah, there we go.
The voice.
So I'm playing Mimic, but Mimic doesn't exist in this flashback.
Mimic is there.
So I'm
if
playing
other-
your producer.
Mimic.
Yeah, so I was gonna say
Mimic's
need
role
producer.
is as an informational retrieval. Like if anyone needs to fill in a gap about the rules of the world, they can go to Mimic for the answer. So in that case, yeah, the producer would fill that. And whatever you say is
amazing.
Whatever you say is canon.
All right.
And then the person then would be Bree. Who's the threat pool?
All right. Voice. This is I don't want to disclose my.
The topic for tonight
My
is
name.
the minds. The topic for tonight is body scanners in the airports are implanting memories in your brain.
You have a caller on.
Everything you remember implanted by
too.
the government. Your memories are not truth.
You have
Call
a
in
caller.
now.
You have a caller on line 2, Dr. Newton Crane.
Oh, Dr. Crane, a regular. Hello, Crane. Welcome back to The Voice.
It's Crankles.
Hey, voice. I really need to. I know we're talking about body scanners and stuff, but I feel like that's common knowledge.
It's been a slow news week.
Fair.
So we want to hit
I
back
need
one
to
of our-
talk
one of
about
our
the
greater
issues with the government trying to regulate what we can and can't do with our software, and like hamstringing us and tying our hands to our hamstrings and to keep us from writing code to change the human race and make everything better. Like
Medical science is amazing.
exactly.
Of course, you're referring to the emergence in artificial intelligence and the singularity and woe upon the humans should the machines rise to destroy us all.
I think if the humans can have a hand in helping drive and create these machines, we could. The government doesn't want you to join the singularity, because that's.
Some would have you believe that there's ethical concerns about creating artificial life, creating new life, non-human synthetic life forms. Do they have the same inalienable rights? Should they just become slaves?
I mean, probably, but the
Depends if they're rude or not.
the government and the liberal media would have you believe that this is something to fear. But I think a true individual that is genius enough to create one of these machines themselves can really be beneficial.
Crane, I've told you before, I'll tell you again. If you want to advertise on my show, contact my producer after the show is done. I sent you the
Please
email.
don't contact me. Please don't contact me.
But fine, it really bothers me that the government and the bureaucrats are telling me what I can and can't do and what I can't and can't type on my keyboard. Like I'm
It
just
really
trying to make a
bothers me
living.
when callers call in about something I'm not even talking about on today's show. But I love you, Crane. You just keep on calling back and just derailing our conversations every night.
It cuts back where
We're gonna crane our necks in another direction now.
it cuts back to current when you remembered this just out of the blue and you're like staring off into the distance, like hands still against the coolant tank, like you didn't even.
Well, there's the room we just discovered that fell apart that had like my old recording studio.
Right.
That was the second asset we built. So
And I mean, as you're talking about Mimic and building artificial intelligences that sometimes appear to have some issues, the coolant insulating Mimic, whoever was trying to fix it in the last scene you done fucked up because the coolant fails.
Fucking Grimshaw
course.
again.
it built up, there's too much pressure and it just goes it starts venting coolant.
You were doing a thing and
Coolant
then Mimic
leak.
calmed down and
We've
you just
got
kind
a
of
coolant leak.
yeah, you were
Dry
doing a thing.
ice smoke all over the set.
You're doing a thing and then Mimic stops freaking out. You're like, oh, okay, we're good. And it's just like, boom. And you're like,
All that anxiety got channeled down the pipes.
I got this.
Dr. Crane, something is wrong. I'm going to die soon.
All right, give me the black
And as
dice.
we all know, when I die,
that's
we all die.
5.
5.
5 black.
5 black this.
Mimic is like, if I am about to go offline,
All right, so I got
I
me,
will first vent all atmosphere.
and I got me.
If I'm
What
going to
humans
die,
do is vent
I'm bringing you all
problems, so-
with me.
Mimic, I didn't teach you that.
Grimshaw, you're coming with me to help fix this coolant leak that I thought you fixed already.
Well, fixed is kind of like a more of a.
Really?
Not
True
really.
in a certain point of view.
It's true from a certain point of view. Thank you. That's what I was looking for.
Well-
It's true from a certain point of view. Really, what
Thanks,
I
Obi.
did was I broke it. It was working just fine, but I had to break it in order to vent the coolant into Mimic systems.
It's like super cool.
Super cool
Nice.
Mimic.
Now everything's going to
You
get
know,
super
I was
hot.
fixing the Mimic problem, but I
You were
caused.
convinced that the coolant would last until after the trick shot.
Yeah,
So you
that's-
kind of knew that Mimic was gonna blow up, but it would get us to
I
the other
just
side of the
it was
mission.
just a temporary
You watch.
jury rig of a. I was trying to save, you know.
There's only
Day.
4 of us on the ship. You could
Well,
have
I mean-
asked
Hey,
me. I know
well, I
how
mean, don't-
Mimic
Attention
works.
crew, Jim Grimshaw tried to kill me and is going to succeed
I
in 5
saved your
minutes.
life.
Well, I mean,
4
so
minutes.
that doesn't happen again, I'm gonna come
3
with
minutes.
you, and then whoever's
let's go-
taking.
let's go
I don't
fix
know
the
where the rest of the
I
story
just kinda
points are
hold on
living.
to 'em.
I can't
All
see
right,
them.
so I get another dice.
And you get another dice from that.
from you. And
You have your technical. Are you using an asset?
Beautiful assets.
oh yeah, we got the
Yeah, we got assets. You got the
got your
3D
dog.
printer. You got bones.
Oh,
I
we
need
need
the
the
voice.
almanac. Give me the almanac.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
The numerology almanac is
Yeah,
gonna
like
help
we
you
have
out.
not-
That'll solve
I've
your
got it with
heating
your,
issues.
your hands-on technical skills. Numerology is gonna save the day.
Right. The hands-on technical skills is what got us into this mess.
All right, I'm gonna give you another one using.
All right, we're at 5.
group story point.
Like
I have
we
nothing
came
left
here
out
Five
with
versus
the
five.
power of numerology, and I feel like we're getting bogged down in the weeds of science and psychology.
You know what? Once upon a time, old day, Jim Grimshaw might have argued that. But I'm too far gone now.
I'm in way too deep.
I just
I'm
pass.
in way
I
too
just
deep.
pass
You know what?
over
I
the
give
flask.
in to the numerology.
That's right.
You got us this far.
Here,
Attention, crew of the
By
Black
accident.
Grimshaw
Knight.
here. It's a
I,
flask.
Mimic, the one thing keeping you alive, will be dead in 2 minutes.
All right.
Bottoms up.
So we got 6 then
on 5.
on 5.
If you would like to say farewell, the simulacrum is hanging out in the lounge right now, pouring out a
You
wonderful
should
drink
spend a story point
at
Literally
room
on the floor.
temperature.
I've
to
got
get
a story
another
point.
die from the group thing.
Oh yeah.
Popping the
I guess-
champagne
yeah,
to celebrate our impending demise.
I'm in.
Go all in on this.
All right. Come
that's
on.
7 versus 5 now?
Numerology
7
almanac.
versus 5.
Find a pattern in the numbers. Hey, did you know all the numbers in the world are in pi?
Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm very upset right now.
All those dice.
no.
All those
That's
sixes.
really bad.
A lot of
Look at all those
sixes.
sixes.
Oh, yeah, at least
I see. No, I think I fucked
in the
this
dark
one up.
die.
Okay, how high?
Oh God.
We don't even pass.
No, we don't. We don't pass
We
it
had
off.
7 to 5 dice.
No, yeah.
This is where numerology
Did we get
gets
You
you.
failed by
okay?
5.
You failed by 5. That's 2 harm.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good
assisting?
thing we got
So
a
you walk
doctor
up.
still.
Who was assisting? Was anyone assisting?
I was.
We both
We were
were.
both.
Anyone who was assisting can also take the harm,
I'll take
but,
the harm.
but
I have
there's
no harm.
2 harm that is being spread out across this table.
Oh God.
I mean, I still
I'll
got.
take some of the harm.
Yeah, I'll
sounds
take,
like
I'll
a
take
good
some of the
plan.
Caused that
harm.
coolant leak with
Yeah.
my
You
hands.
put your hand right
Because
into
you
the
decided
water.
to,
Yeah,
to
I'll-
believe in his numerology.
I'll
Yeah,
get it.
okay, we'll give it a go.
I'll get in on that.
I decided.
So we'll both take one.
Okay, we'll both take one.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that
you
sounds
do.
right.
You do a thing, and like the
I think
coolant just
someone's gonna die.
sprays
All
on
over.
both of us.
Okay, so now though
Um,
it means if you're gonna assist, you're bringing black dye into the pool.
Can I just take both of the harm? I think it's
Okay.
dumb to spread it out.
Okay. So 2 harm on Grimshaw.
I clogged that coolant
So
leak.
do we
with
still
my
have 5
face.
threat?
If Grimshaw goes to assist you, it will add 2 threat.
No, I mean we still have
Yeah,
the
you're
5
still at
die.
5.
Oh, good.
We're still at
good.
5.
And we start all over.
And you're
Me.
you're down to 1.
Wait,
And I will
wait,
assist
this
you.
might be the perfect moment.
No, I'm holding mine too. Like,
No, wait, no,
We're gonna have a
Everyone
death
can't
fight.
decide
Decide
death card.
who's gonna die.
Everyone's gripping their death card.
Wait. Okay, so a second ago, we were both going to take a harm because of the coolant leak.
Honestly, this is gonna fit this card really well.
Okay, we still got a
This is
bunch of
gonna-
story points, folks. We got some touchstones here. You could still save the day.
We still got
The farewell
2,
party
3
is
more
still happening in
threats
the
to
lounge.
go through.
Mimic is waiting. The bottle's getting empty, pouring on the floor.
Engineer Grimshaw, I don't want you to leave yet. We haven't had punch.
Oh.
Look, somewhere
I've
along,
made this delicious
Oh,
canapé.
all right.
somewhere along the line, Mimic
I've learned to cook now.
got hospitality and like politeness mixed up. I don't know how it
Fine,
happened.
let's try
It's an
this
end of
again.
humanity luau
Okay.
in the lounge.
So here's what we can do. We can both still assist, but I can spend this story point to negate his harm for this round.
That's a good
That makes
spend of a
sense.
That's
story.
a
Yeah.
good spend, yeah.
So
Because
then
my
Then I
2
guess
harm
we're
would
2
add 2
assists.
black dice, so you're getting rid of 2 black dice.
that doesn't
For one thing.
Doctor saves the day.
And then I have to spend a story point to assist.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's
Because you were
me.
doing the free assist.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
doing
That's
this
you.
We've
so
only got
that's 3.
5 community story points left on the table.
Oh, good.
That's fine.
And you still have the
I don't plan to
almanac.
live
I still
long
got
enough to
the
use them.
almanac. Numerology don't fail me now.
Going back to the well, huh?
And should I use my touchstone before we all die?
If you
Yes.
Yes.
You should use your touchstone.
Yeah, I left behind fame and fortune for this
And calling
BS.
and calling into late night radio.
Yeah,
shows.
that was your fame.
Yeah, I was the most
voice audience.
famous caller on the Voices channel.
What we don't know is you
I
actually
had
did
my own
later
subreddit, you guys.
after you
There
did
were 14 people.
You did buy advertising on The Voice, and you were able to use that advertising dollars to create Mimic.
Yeah.
Like it built your empire.
Take another one.
All right. So let me not screw this up again. Do, do, do.
All your fame and fortune went into this stupid machine that is going to die.
Hey,
You're not dying on my watch.
Hey, I like that machine.
Hey, we call your ferrets dumb all the time.
That's true. I
That's
use
a
dumb
term
as an
of- oh,
endearing
no.
term.
Oh.
Well, I mean, that's better. That's better than last time.
Which wasn't that great.
I mean, last time we had like 3 black sixes, guys.
Yeah.
Like anything.
Okay, I think we beat it this time.
By
Did we beat it by enough?
3? By 3.
Okay, that gets rid of only
that
one
gets rid of
black
one.
die.
Oh, good.
And we do it all over again.
That's better than taking harm
So
and
the
rerolling.
coolant, you haven't really solved it, but you're looking through the computer, and do you find anything that might be able to help you out?
I think he's looking through the almanacs.
Yeah, no, I'm
Almanac?
going hard on this almanac. This,
Maybe you're lowering Mimic's processing requirement, so it's
Yeah,
not
I'm gonna-
rolling up as hot.
who programmed love into this thing?
I don't remember doing that.
I don't code. I don't know why you're
mean
looking
that.
at me.
I don't even know we're deleting that. We're
Dr. Sims, I just wanted to tell you that I always have felt a warm, cordial response to your presence.
Back to the memes.
Yeah, this thing was programmed for memes. And it's got all these cooking subroutines. We just have slurry. Get rid of that.
It's pronounced slurry. It is pronounced slurry. It comes from a 3D printer.
All right, I'm going to take another here. Story point, maybe? No?
Hang on.
We're running out.
Where are we at? Where are
So
we
you
at?
Okay,
start
so
cutting
we've got
out all of its
We've got 2.
subroutines.
You have a free assist from one of us. Probably me because I have no harm.
Yeah, you are harmless, generally.
So we're at 3
Hey.
versus 4.
And
I know.
I cannot assist
can-
He
unless,
can't assist.
unless she's...
You can spend that to reduce his harm again, to negate it.
But then that's... Okay. We could spend 3 more to add 2
Oh my
more dice.
God.
That doesn't make sense.
Look, why don't...
You really want to die?
Are we really at that point yet? We can still
Can you
make
hear,
it.
can you hear this card?
Hang on.
Look, I
feel
don't want to
like-
use. I don't want
I'm
to
gonna
use
be
every
trapped.
story point in our pool before we get to the final showdown.
Yeah, but we already got more, and I don't want to be trapped
just
in this
wasted
box
a bunch,
with you
though.
guys.
Get
just
to the
had a
showdown.
7 on 5 and lost, and you're
Like-
the one being like, "But we have more white dice."
Yeah, but I don't want to roll. We'll need you to roll it.
We all know you're
Look,
the one,
look.
Yeah,
Sims,
if-
who's making it to the end.
If
not
the
these
doctor
two.
dies, the mimic's gonna go nuts.
No, it doesn't know how to love anymore.
We already... hang on.
I don't have any reason to live anymore. Mimic doesn't understand love.
It's
Hang on.
true. I'm not technically alive.
We all...
Not a human.
Not a human.
Not a human.
I very much want to die to get rid of a threat, but not after we've spent so much resources on this threat. Like we
Die on
should've-
the next threat.
Yeah, at the beginning of the next
You should
threat.
die at the beginning of it, not at the not once you've spent some resources.
All right, so let's
do
limp
this.
on to
Okay,
three
Unless
threats.
it makes a
Okay.
cool story, then let's hear
So-
it.
Okay, so that means
hang
that
on.
you spend. So you spend here. I've got two of them here, right? So
Okay.
you spend one
You give a
to
nice
get involved.
therapeutic massage.
Yeah, and then I spend one to get rid of your harm.
Right.
Please put those in the pile.
All
I
right.
can't
Well,
see.
now we got
And
5
then
on
I'm gonna
4.
spend another to give you one more die using my technical expertise.
Right.
I can't give any more.
So for those listening at home,
We now have one story point left
in
in the
community
community
pot. Whoa, that was like bang on.
You guys can host together now.
No, I've just I've perfectly assimilated Tracy's
Are you
program.
rolling
That's
that
a
dice?
into my
3 on
don't
the
need
top
that.
of that dice, but I was looking at it and I'm like, why is there a butt on there?
One of the dice is. Look, I'm gonna take
Humanity's
pictures
last best
of
hope,
this.
everyone.
I'll take pictures of the butt die for y'all. You're welcome.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
No.
Usually laughter is happiness, but I'm not sure it is. this
No,
time.
in this it's just hysterics.
Yeah.
Oh.
Uh,
Did you make it?
yeah, we made
By
it.
5 or more.
Yeah, by 6.
So you get rid
Oh.
of 2 black dice.
No.
See?
It might have actually been worth
Yep.
it.
Yep. Whew. See, you guys talk shit
I've
about the almanac.
I've lost an arm from coolant, but
You're like, you better sort this thing out because I'm gonna burn up in here.
All right.
I'm
But
hold-
he's got
I'm
me.
You've
holding
deleted,
the- You are
you've deleted
currently-
enough superfluous subroutines now that it's lowered
Almanac.
its processing demand.
You are currently Chris Evans' character in Sunshine,
I still haven't
who,
seen that.
who
Oh yeah.
spoilers, takes a dip in the coolant tank
Several
and I
times.
got you-
several times. It's bad.
I got the doctor's assistance.
Yeah, you got the free assist.
free assist.
You got the almanac.
Yes.
almanac, me, and we are
I
running out of
can't
resources.
He
help you
can't-
this
he
time.
can't
so
help.
just straight
Yeah, no,
through. This
I
is-
understand.
I think it's just roll 3 on 2.
I think it's 3
Yeah.
on 2.
At this
All right.
point, I'm on the ground in pain. I can no longer
Oh, that
assist.
makes me very happy.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh my
You
god!
shouldn't have said,
It was two dark die.
you shouldn't have said that it makes you very happy that I was on the ground in pain because karma's a
And then the
bitch.
white die are a 6, a 5, and a 1.
There's a 6. All right, so we still have to resolve that threat. It's at 2.
But now we have
my
another
God.
one,
But a
right?
new threat at 2 black.
Who picks this?
You probably.
You just rolled it, so why don't
See?
you go ahead?
You guys were all excited to die. This will help you.
I'd love to pick the threat.
Failing life support.
Oh,
So you've been cutting out subroutines a little too quickly, and you cut out the keep them alive subroutine. Oops. You just delete life support from the system, and now you've got failing life support at when this happens, it's not at full. It's not the full threat. It's at a lowered problem threat. I think it's only 2.
Yeah. So you saw love subroutine, but it was actually life subroutine. You're like, we don't need that. Bye.
wait, does this mean Mimic still loves?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Add a new threat equals
doesn't
any
love
black
life.
effect. For example, let's roll. Put 2 dice.
It's having another existential
Yeah, exactly.
crisis now because it's killing us, but also
Okay.
is in love.
So it's failing life support with 2 black. It's that's all it is.
Okay.
Who's going to deal with the failing life support threat?
I'm on the ground, dying.
Yeah, but you still got a rolling arm, right?
You got one arm left.
Or somebody could
I mean-
die and resolve
Or no,
this
but
right
he
now.
has threats, so
Yeah.
he'll bring
I'm-
that
Yeah,
back.
I mean, I have
got
to.
one.
It has to be
I have
the
to.
doctor.
Okay, so you're dealing with the failing life support on
Thanks.
the ship.
Yeah.
And can they still help each other?
Like all of a sudden, all the airflow of the ship just kind of just stops, and the whole ship just starts getting really cold, really quick.
Yeah, and we're like,
hey, Dr. Crane,
Too much coolant.
you're really bad at this.
Too much coolant.
Mimic, what's going on?
Destavania.
Did you delete English?
Oops.
You can fix this. You can fix
I
this. You
meant-
still have the almanac. Roll that again.
All right.
Wait, can they still help each
I
other?
still only got the
You can
2.
still assist each other, but you're
I am
also
still-
responsible for resolving each other's
Okay.
roles. So we're gonna go one pool at a time.
Yeah. So we'll start yours. I'm still helping.
All right.
Are you using the almanac again?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
This hasn't failed me yet.
Except for spectacularly.
Yeah, it hasn't failed every time I've been trying to use it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my God.
The almanac always helps at the last moment.
Right.
2,
Only when you
10.
run-
Finally.
10. Okay. So all of a
finally
sudden,
all
Mimic
makes
is
sense.
like, No, I still speak English. I was just joking with you. I still have humor.
So wait, he succeeded by 5 or more twice, even though there's only one extra die to get rid of. Does that get us some bonus?
Nope.
No.
Okay.
No.
So you get
Thanks
rid
for
of
playing,
everything.
everybody.
You're not dead. All
This
right, that's a
game
bonus.
hates you.
So you
Okay.
still, although you can't laugh because you can't breathe right now,
Yeah.
failing life
But we
support.
need to fix the life support. Okay,
Do you
so
want
I've
this
got,
almanac?
so I've got. I can't use
It's
it because
too bad
just
you
did.
all didn't take me up on my offer for the farewell party because you're all going to suffocate in 45 seconds.
I mean, so am I?
I'll help because I'm not.
Yeah,
dead
you're
or
helping,
dying.
and 'cause
I
you're
get to feel
dying.
what it's like to suffocate as well because, of course, I have a simulacrum that has real human lungs in it.
I'm trying to decide which thing to use.
Can we use more than the one asset?
With the
You can
dog.
only use
We can
one
use
asset,
one asset,
per
so, like-
threat.
But the almanac's been used for this.
If
No,
the,
it's-
the
I haven't-
almanac
I haven't
was
used it yet.
being used for that threat, in the next roll you could bring the almanac into it.
Got it. Okay.
Use the 3D printer to
Have
build.
the
You've had
dog
really good luck with
calm
the
me
3D
down.
printer.
Use the 3D printer to
So
build
I
a new
kind of
life
want to
support
use the
system?
3D printer to like build something to kind of make
Okay.
like plug
You
in.
can print air.
It's a little rough, a
Look,
little
I'll put this
grainy,
air
but you can breathe
canister
it.
in there.
Just tell the 3D
is
printer to
that?
combine a bunch of like. Oh, actually, you're going to use it as a
Use
oxygen
it to
scrubber
build a new
To-
oxygen tank.
to take out the.
What
the,
if
the
I
CO
build us
particles.
all new lungs that don't need oxygen?
Yeah, that sounds techno-babbly enough. Maybe get this
She's a
guy
doctor.
new arm.
I trust her.
I am a psychologist.
I mean, the life support system was deleted, so you could try.
If you use the 3D
Programming a
printer
new-
to build me a new arm, I can use my arm to fix this problem.
The 3D printer could be printed to create an air filtration device that'll help you all breathe long enough to
Just
finish the
filter
mission.
out all that.
Yeah,
vacuum.
even though Mimic is no
To no longer make it an impending
You
threat.
could do that, or you could build me a new arm, which I can then use to slap Mimic enough into kicking
Jim
life support
Grimshaw
back
is
on.
suffering from epoxy
Yes, yes,
and
he
is
is.
currently getting delusional from the lack of oxygen.
Sorry,
so
did you
I
say
would
hypoxy.
I would get
Hypoxy, not epoxy.
Epoxy.
Epoxy, just stuffing glue in it.
I can help you with my black
with your
dice.
By the way,
I
he has a crippling glue.
I can add both of these.
Go fuck yourself, Grimshaw.
Back in the corner,
The
Grimshaw.
point is, he's gotten hallucinating. Whether it's through glue
Okay.
or lack of oxygen, he's not going to help you out here.
Okay, so for those of you at home, we are 3 white dice on 2 black, and that is literally all I can pull. Oh, we're good. We're good. I beat it by 6, so we're done.
Whoa,
we're done.
We're done. We did it. I made the best filtration
See?
device anyone has ever seen.
She's got the rolls. I suck.
Yeah,
All right.
you're not taking charge of anything else from
We
here
have
on out,
2
Dr.
more
Crane.
Thanks,
spotlight
one
scenes.
I want to have a spotlight
Okay, Jim.
With your one arm.
with my one arm and my epoxy.
Is it a flashback
Did you
to
actually
when you
lose
had
your
2
arm?
arms?
Is that how you're
Yes,
putting it?
I shoved my arm into.
And then you cracked it off because it froze
Oh
solid?
my god,
Well,
you're just an
yeah.
anime character now, just like.
I have one arm. I'm sitting in med bay,
Yeah,
petting
Mimic is like,
petting my dog with my one arm.
Mimic is wrapping your good arm for some reason.
Yeah, Mimic is there wrapping my.
Oh no, we're 3D printing a new prosthetic.
Okay.
Ah, there you go.
You're busy printing me a new prosthetic.
Arm.
I'm gonna say they're both in this in this scene.
We're all here, just
They're all
being
here.
like Jesus.
That would make Adam is going to be your Mimic, and I'm going to be your
Sure.
threat player.
Sure, I like Adam as the Mimic anyway. He does a very.
He does a good job.
I only have
a good
3
job.
threats.
Okay,
We need
so,
to
We need
write
to
out
pick
that
2
more.
more threats. I think there are only 2 written threats.
So just
But
take-
given how things have been changing,
Oh, there's 3.
now we've got to get to this graviton device. You can also write down more threats that are more
Yeah,
to the
but
current
like I
context.
don't. Can you think of any threats to write down? All right, give me.
my robot arm
Mimic has developed a
malfunctions.
taste for
Honestly,
strangling
honestly, I was
Grimshaw.
just gonna be like, robot arm explode? Question mark.
I mean, you should write that. It's not a bad idea. But then I have to still be around for that threat to be pertinent. And I might.
No, unless you're dead and the arm-
detaches.
Yeah.
Brent, you got to come
Running
up with
around the
one
station.
threat.
You
Bree's
also
gonna come up
need-
with one threat.
Here are
Okay.
the threats that are already written, and I'm just writing one now, so you can also
come
have
up with
these.
one of your own.
Well, he's in the scene too.
Yeah,
so-
but
Oh,
it's
he's
just
got to write a new one. I
he
see,
should
I
have.
see, I see.
We're just gonna
Gotcha.
have to catch up.
I understand. Yes, I'm gonna say.
I don't have creativity right now.
That's fine.
Mr. Grimshaw.
I did it.
Mimic is mending my arm. I'm talking to the counselor to try to cheer myself up because I feel very.
The counselor has handed you a
Why
flask.
is this?
I'm jeering from
I'm
the
petting my
hallway.
dog.
Why
And
can
you're
you
just
write a little
laughing
something
at
up to make it why it's imminently going to kill humanity?
Or us.
Because that doesn't seem like
You can
something
still
that is.
turn a wrench with one arm. You're
That
fine.
doesn't seem like one that is both
Mr.
Yeah, but this is
Grimshaw,
my left, my right,
imminent
my wrong
and,
arm.
and like sudden doom, right?
Mr. Grimshaw,
Okay.
why do
liked
you
it.
want
I liked
a
where that was going,
human
with
arm?
a
I
few
could give you any
qualifiers.
kind of arm with this 3D printing device.
You can't
Crab
have
hands.
qualifiers. That's
Yes,
like 4 words.
crab hands. I could give you crab hands.
Can you give me a chainsaw arm? I've always wanted a chainsaw arm.
It's a 3D printer. We solved an oxygen problem with it. I can make you anything. I can make you a chainsaw arm, apparently.
I don't know what I'm gonna need a chainsaw arm for in space, but sure.
I vote crab hands.
So Mimic, after Mimic's reprogramming, Mimic has turned into like an arms dealer now. So, like, what are you buying? What are you selling?
An arms deal.
Oh,
That's what you were doing.
oh!
If we're going off that aspect, so Dr. Grimshaw, I can fix you up with a proper arm. Chainsaw, crab, bazooka. You choose.
Look, Mimic really liked FPS Russia, the YouTube channel, for a while, so I'm not surprised this
It was only for a nanosecond, but that's all it took
all
for
it
Mimic
took.
to watch everything.
I also really like slow-mo guys, so I'm waiting.
Hey, Mr. Grimshaw, you like this dog, right?
Yes.
Why don't we make
The only reason
Why don't we make you your arm the dog? You'll always be close.
It
No, I don't think that'll work for me,
also
Mimic.
really liked Full Metal Alchemist.
I don't think that'll work for me, Mimic.
But it may work for a dog.
I don't think that'll work for my dog either, Mimic.
I still have not understood the whole human situation, so
Thanks,
well-
take
thanks
your word
Mimic.
for it.
That was literally my only job.
That was. How long have you been at that job now?
Too long, apparently.
Yeah,
Just take
that's
my
what I
flask back. And
Yeah, I wasn't done with that.
yeah, well, you are now.
That's okay. I can't pet my dog and drink with flask at the same time. I've only got one arm.
Flask arm.
yes, I think I can work on that too.
Yeah. So what's the plan now? Now that, we're down another arm.
I mean, I guess we just keep trying to get Mimic close enough. We must be just about there
Mimic,
now.
you can do this thing, right?
Well, I had a bit of a crisis, but you're good people. You talked me through it. I'll see what I can do.
Because the entire human race is depending on you.
I've grown some respect for you now.
Yeah, well. At least that's one of us.
If you keep that other arm, I can get busy and start practicing.
Tell you what, you don't sabotage the coolant and I won't have to lose my other arm. Again.
Crab hand.
Crab hand. No, I will not have a crab hand.
But why not Zoidberg?
There are certain things that a crab hand is not conducive to use.
you still got
Oh,
one
well,
human
you'll
hand?
find out.
God.
It's too late. I
Yeah,
made
but
you a crab arm, and each claw is a chainsaw.
Mimic doesn't
well.
look. Mimic doesn't understand human physiology. I can tell you that for sure by now.
What were you expecting? A real arm? Oh, come on.
So we're just almost there. We just keep going. And we just get Mimic to do the shot, and everything else comes secondary.
Yeah,
to
but I
Mimic.
feel like we all just keep dying.
Mimic, just give us one real good, like, happy thing. Just say one, like, good moment of optimism.
What are you thankful for right now?
There's
Mimic?
still half bottle of champagne.
And then you shut down. There's a sudden, complete power failure on the ship, and Mimic is offline, black, dead, nothing is responsive. The whole ship.
The
Just
3D
as
printer was
every-
only half done printing my new
As it's
arm.
going through, everything in the ship just kind of goes
Pitch black.
black, lights out, fans off, Mimic gone, printing frozen halfway and building the arm,
Crab hand.
and it's halfway through a crab. And the whole ship, like that
not
word,
even
that
crab
noise,
hand.
you've been so used to hearing that hum in the background of the graviton device and the coolant rooms. Silence.
God damn it.
Everything is pitch black. All the lights go out. All you've got working are whatever like headlamps you might have or handheld flashlights.
God
You have
damn
dealt
it.
with a sudden loss of complete power on the ship. There is no Mimic. There is no humanity. And unless you can get this going on, there is no way you're going to be able to keep
Somebody hand me a
What-
flashlight.
What the fuck is
we don't
wrong
have
with
a-
this ship?
We don't have a flashlight asset, so you're out of luck.
Well,
Oh, look, your dog is a flashlight now.
my dog.
You should have requested a flashlight already.
Well,
Granted,
I
hand
found-
sizes.
He's got a little. His collar's got a little
Yeah.
blinking beacon.
And I found the numerology almanac to be very illuminating.
That's good for you. You can stay here in the dark where you belong.
Get the fuck out of here.
I'm gonna take my dog and we're gonna go down to the engine room and we're gonna restart this bad boy before we all freeze to death.
Don't lose any arms while you're down there.
Doctor, I'm gonna need your help. You're gonna have to be my right hand.
Can you leave me the flask?
No. It's like, no, yeah, I hand over the flask. You're like,
you got your-
yes, and it's
You got your
empty.
3 dice.
I got my dog
You got your
I
dog.
got
You
my
got your
me.
dice.
and I've got my right hand.
You got 1 story point that you can
my
spend
left hand or whatever.
for the
My
technical
right
issue.
hand. I lost my right hand. Let's be honest.
You now have one person awkwardly like at your shoulder being like, I'm 2 hands now. For everyone you cut off, 2
Now,
egos.
Drunk no less.
Now here's
Get
the
a drunk
problem.
hand.
I'm injured. That adds 2 more dice
Yes,
to this
it
thing.
does.
Oh no.
Unless
Unless you
But
die.
I spend this.
Wait, no. Wait, we're gonna be fine. You just
Okay.
trust me on this.
Oh, I see what
Oh,
you're doing.
he's gonna die.
All right,
100%.
all right. We're
That sound is
the
me
dog
waving
is,
my death card
There's
very
still one
angrily.
more threat that
I
we
know.
still have to deal.
I know,
dog-
but this is really hard to shoehorn in.
The dog is leading us to the problem.
Can I see it?
Total loss of power.
I know. I told you.
And we get to the lower bowels of the ship.
The Black Knight.
We get to the lower bowels of the ship.
It's actually the
I believe the
septic tank.
technical term is the ass end.
It's actually the septic tank as well.
The septic tank of the ship. Where we discover, much to our surprise, especially because it's in the dark, after Bones starts growling for a second, that the saboteur that we blew into space wasn't the only saboteur aboard. There were 2.
And he's cutting up everything with his lizard hands.
Yes!
Oh my god, the lizard people that live in the Hollow Earth.
It wasn't a mist. It wasn't a conspiracy.
And in the
They
darkness,
were
you see
real.
their like reflective eyes blinking back.
And then when he looks at us, the first thing that happens is Bones jumps at the lizard man's throat, and they get into a visceral fight.
And we only see it in the blinking light from the cheerful little
right.
LED on his collar. So it's
Exactly.
like snapshots.
And I'm like, Bones, no! And then the lizard man takes a bite out of Bones' neck and tosses Bones to the side, and he makes that yelp. That when a dog makes that yelp, everyone's like, oh no! You know that yelp? That yelp. And then, in a fit of rage for the injured dog that is now on the ground, I rush at the lizard man, and I push him and myself into the septic tank. And as I'm going down, I press the button to eject the septic tank. To flush the septic tank. As I'm holding him with my one good arm.
Right.
Wait, this doesn't make sense. I only have one arm.
Okay, no, the
you're
flush
stuck.
button is
You got
outside.
a partially built 3D arm.
No.
You got it
no.
to the elbow.
I'm here.
I'm using my one good arm to hold him down in the septic tank goo, and I tell Dr. Ariel Sims, flush the tank!
But you'll
Flush
stop. Fuck! Just hit it. Okay, so guys, pressing question. What way does it swirl in space? We're not in either hemisphere.
Straight down.
Just straight down.
Oh, it's like on an airplane. It just goes.
Okay, yeah, so you
It's only
died
like
and it wasn't
That was very
In a
important for
split
the
And then you
Foley.
get back and tell me what happened, and I say,
And
shitty
Bones.
way to go.
And Bones, and
with a
fuck
smirk,
you, Dr.
with
Crane.
a shit-eating grin.
Pardon my language. You can edit that out.
I've been saying fuck the whole game. You haven't noticed.
Bones, no, I haven't. Dr. Sims and a limping Bones return to the med bay
I still have
alone.
Bones.
Bones is still alive
you
because I died helping a friend.
Aww.
The friend was my dog.
Okay,
Best
that's pretty
friend. And so in your death, you add 3 dice to the plan,
Yes, I do.
and all threats are resolved.
Yes, it was, because that
Also-
was ridiculous.
Also, it just struck me that instead of disappearing because Mimic has a corporeal body, the body just like sadly flopped to the ground. Just Mimic turns off and it's
Just
just
plant.
Yeah, and like a real wet sound too. It's like none of those ligaments really held together.
still into
It's
it.
like a bag of meat hitting tile.
A bag of blood held together by untanned leather.
So now Ariel and Crane, Mimic, and an injured Bones are the only thing that's left. It's time to activate the graviton machine, but first we have one last moment. And it's my scene.
I really
it's a
think
flashback.
Bones should get a spotlight.
There you go.
This is we cut to Bones being lifted up on like an air crane into the back end of a rocket where it's going to be launched up to the Blacklight satellite.
Do we establish
And-
roles here?
Well, I have to be in it because this is an Arrington scene. And so while Bones is being lifted up into the rocket is the mission briefing with all
Oh, so
four
we're
of
all
you.
here.
We're all here. And this is the first time we've all been together as a team. Tomorrow we're leaving for the Black Knight. This is actually the first and only time I haven't set foot on Earth since building the Black Knight. I've come down here to bring you up, and this is my last night on Earth. This is all of our last night on Earth.
What happens if we're all in the scene? Who picks the threat?
The captain is dealing with story points, and the supply officer, whoever the supply officer was, deals
That
with
was
the threat.
me.
How about we just do this? Has anybody not picked a threat yet?
No, that was you. You were the supply officer.
I think I was
I
the
haven't
supply-
picked a threat this.
Yeah,
I
you
think
can
you
you
should
can
then.
pick a threat.
Okay,
This
so
go.
write down a new threat, and then you get the pool as well, and you can,
Bones goes
if
crazy
you
without
see one in there
master.
that you already like, then you can go with that. You don't have to bother writing one because that'll be our last threat entered unless we start rolling any ties.
Well,
So-
if I'm rolling,
You're not allowed.
This is going to be the last threat,
yeah.
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 no matter
Potential.
what.
So you're all sitting around, and you got coffee, and you're expecting a lot more people. There's like a lot of chairs, and it's only like the five of you have shown up, and then in comes like Arrington, and you're watching this dog going up on this
Yeah.
crane in the background, like we're at the launch site,
God, that's cute.
and
They got a little harness
for him and
Why are we bringing a dog? Unbelievable.
you'll be thankful for the dog when we're on the far end of the universe, far away from home with no comfort. Also, they're handy if we need to eat anything.
What? What did you just say?
We're also
Grimshaw
packing
died.
several
Oh.
chickens and 2 cows. They'll all be in the food bay, and as long as it doesn't catch on fire, everything's gonna be fine.
In the worst case, we can make a slurry or something.
See, and this is why I brought you. Unfortunately, the 4 of you are the only ones who've answered the call. This is a crew that required no less than 25 people.
5 of us. My dog counts. as
25 of us were needed for this mission to be a success. Thankfully, our crack team over here of software engineers and counselors have created
Took a
for
lot of
us
crack.
an AI that may be able to make up the slack of the missing 20 crew members. But I won't lie to you. The odds are against us. No one even believes this planet exists.
You might
But
say
we-
the situation is grim.
You might say that, and
That's all
actually,
he says.
That's all you. That's you. You have said that 100 times. Every time you've ever called into my radio show.
Yes, I have.
Yes.
Oh, because your name's Grimshaw. Yeah.
It's your catchphrase. You got it.
You are all,
Yeah.
you are
We're gonna
all
be
my
fast
number one
friends.
fans, except for the counselor here, who's I think never listened to our radio program.
I'm sorry. Who are you?
I am the voice.
Definitely corporeal.
Also, I'm the
and
one funding this
standing in-
exhibition.
And standing in front. Oh, that's good. You're the wallet. 10 out of 10.
Don't worry,
It's good to be here.
we might not make it back from this.
Ah,
We're doing this to save the Earth. They don't believe this thing is coming.
I never wanted to come back to Earth anyway.
We know if we don't do anything, no one will. This planet won't see another new year.
It's true.
So, why are we bringing the dog?
Because I
I
won't
thought-
go without him.
I thought you were loading the dog. Like, what? Did he just bring a crane?
No. I mean, I am.
Yeah, who's
Talking about-
controlling that thing
I
then?
am putting
If we're
the-
all
the
here,
dog-
who's
the
moving
dog-
that dog?
It's automated.
Oh.
Just he
Going
put
up-
the dog under the crane. The crane was like, great, let's go. 10 out of 10.
It's going. The mimic is actually controlling the crane right now.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Look,
I
Mimic
control
has been on
Mimic.
the internet a lot and just
It's the
doggos.
same reason why we're
Loves
bringing
them.
your
Can't get
almanac.
enough of them.
The same reason why we're bringing all of our comforts from home is to remind us of this planet that we're going to leave. We're going to be gone longer than anyone has ever left. And sure, you want to bring a dog and burn up all the oxygen? That's okay. We got plenty of it. We're not going to run out of oxygen anytime soon. Not with all those plants in the food bay.
For sure.
This is an indestructible ship. Nothing has ever gone wrong in the 20 years I have been orbiting this planet. It is unsinkable. And with your graviton device, this plan is unbeatable.
Yes. Nothing will stop us from using the graviton device to push Pluto into Nibiru.
Well, that's a crazy plan. Is that what you've come up with?
Oh my god, is that the plan? Just pass
Yes,
me
that's the plan.
I think I have.
That's why we're
whiskey.
bringing Trickshot along.
Oh, I
have
thought we were
whiskey in
just
here
leaving to
somewhere.
repopulate the planet on Mars. But
No.
sure, let's go to Pluto.
Oh,
We're
yeah,
yeah, let's go to Pluto.
We're repopulating the planet.
We're
You brought
using-
one woman.
we're
Thanks.
using-
And a 3D printer.
Excuse me. You may be a woman, but I'm a lady.
We're using
That's
Pluto as a giant
beard that threw us
cube
off.
bomb.
Oh, okay.
And nothing will be able to stop us.
No, that's fine. Sorry, I clearly got a mixed message. Thought it was going to be a space orgy. We'll save the planet with this trick
We can have a
shot
space
idea.
orgy afterwards.
Excellent.
This is who you invited to. God, I'm gonna need so much more whiskey. Hold on.
Now,
Another crane of Jameson comes in around the corner.
Now, Arrington, here's the thing. As long as you can get my graviton device and Tracy Trickshot to Pluto, as long as you can get to Pluto with those things,
I can make that shot.
he can make that shot. She can make that
shot.
I can
the
guarantee
beard.
us,
It's the
as
beard.
long as the
Beard.
three of us are the only ones to make it,
Well,
we'll
yeah.
be able
We
to.
don't need those two.
The two of them just need to get Mimic to Pluto, but the three of us are the indispensable ones.
Absolutely.
We're going to be fine.
Yes, Captain.
That's all I got.
Glug,
I feel
glug,
like they
glug,
don't
glug,
respect
glug,
us.
glug, glug,
I mean,
glug.
I don't respect you, but I feel they don't respect the two of us.
You can't have any of this whiskey now.
Don't worry, we're all going to make it back to Earth in time for Christmas.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be awesome.
We're gonna be.
I can see it now.
We're gonna be heroes.
Yeah.
Just
That
for
dog
one
is our
day.
mascot. Every
And-
ship needs a mascot. That's the other reason why we're bringing the dog.
His name's Bones, though. That's a bit, I don't know.
That's a cute name for a dog.
Bad
Cute
omen.
name for a dog.
Bad omen, yeah.
Hey,
What?
your name's Trickshot. What of it?
Yeah, and I'm here to do a trick shot, so that's perfect.
Our engineer is
He's a
literally
dog, he
called
likes bones.
Grim.
Okay.
We literally have a crew member named Grim. I think we're gonna be fine.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What-
You're the captain.
What's
I
the
trust
threat that's
in
gonna
you.
happen?
All right. So we flash forward to the
long as-
present. Those three indispensable members are dead. but the
Bones
dog is still
there.
alive.
Mimic is actually hanging their photos like in memoriam on a wall.
The dog is still alive. Dr. Newton and Dr. Ariel are both, eager.
Drunk but
or,
alive.
Drunk but
One of
alive.
us is drunk.
And
told you you
Mimic
couldn't
is
have any
getting ready
whiskey 9
to do
years
the
ago.
trick shot. Mimic brings the graviton device online and aims it at Pluto.
But
And as
Just right in the middle of the little heart on Pluto.
yeah, and as the graviton waves begin to coalesce around Pluto to start to move it, Pluto turns, and we realize that Pluto was not a giant rock in space, but a large space body like Galactus, an alien that has been dormant all this
you
time.
just written down
heart.
Pluto as the threat. And the face of Pluto
Turns around and is very angry that the ship has woken it from its slumber.
It's rolled over, so you know how it was a
Yeah,
heart? Now it's
yeah.
an upside down like ball sack
Yeah.
instead.
And then its eyes open
not
up.
Open up,
friendly at
and
all.
it's very angry.
Oh my god! So it's just like it's like the "Show me what you got" face from Rick and Morty.
Show us what you got.
Yes. Who dares disturb
So-
my slumber?
So I'm
I'm
going to
like,
hand this card to you two. 'cause good luck.
I'm just like looking at the whiskey bottle. Like, does this shit expire? Like, what?
Oh, I did not see that on my scanners. So good news, everyone. We're ready to start launching the Graviton device. Bad news is Pluto's not a cue ball. I mean, it is, but it's just a giant bald head in space. Apparently, it's a living
I don't know. I
organism.
could maybe
Did
use my
not see
death.
that one coming. We got some new conspiracy
Can you
theories
make your
coming out
death work?
soon.
You got the rolling hands.
I don't
You're welcome.
know. I don't know if I could shoehorn my death in this.
See, I could maybe do it.
I think the doc needs to live because I don't know if Mimic's gonna follow along without a doc around.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to live. At least one of us needs to be alive at the end, right?
I assume.
Well, yes.
Yeah. There you go.
Yes, to press the button.
Yes, well, I mean, Mimic.
Mimic's doing it though.
All right.
If you're all dead,
We fail.
we fail.
Mimic sad.
Plus, it's not possible because only one of you can die in this, and this is the last threat.
Yeah.
So it's mathematically worked out that one of you will make it to the final resolution, unless you actually want to try rolling against it.
Against
You
Pluto.
still have a story point. You
Yeah.
got assets.
We have a
you got
story point.
assets, and you got 4 on 5.
Yeah, we have a story point. Yeah, so we could use the
Neither of
story
you are
point.
injured. That's a plus.
Neither of us are injured. I
And
would
you still have
assist
1
you.
touchstone.
There would
No,
be,
that's discarded.
That's discarded.
Oh, well then
It's
this
gone.
should be gone. Then.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
why I
sorry.
have them under my phone. Yeah, like I mean, we'd be rolling 4 on 5.
So how can one of your deaths?
Yeah, literally,
resolve
we're just holding our death
planet-like
cards and
object.
staring at each
Hey,
other.
you can show each other your cards and collaborate if you want. Because we're over time here.
Tell me to do something.
This is a very hard solution.
Just,
So Bree is taking the threat.
I'll take the threat.
You start with, we're getting your 3 dice. Your asset, let's
What
say
are
the
you
Graviton
using
device.
as an asset? The graviton
to
device.
defeat
obviously.
Yeah, it's a
Pluto.
graviton
To
device.
defeat Pluto.
Yeah, so we've got, we're gonna do this like an end
Out
of
you go, Bones.
Evangelion.
This is really becoming an Evangelion plotline now.
Yeah, it's like, oh well, we know where the angels
Okay.
came from now. Welcome.
What if you put the voice into like the ship's speakers and just berate Pluto with all his conspiracies?
Hello there,
destroys
listeners.
itself.
Welcome to The Voice.
Look, what if we weaponize all of this conspiracy bullshit? There was definitely a part where they said that the moon was a giant monster egg. Like, what if we play that for Pluto?
My babies.
Yep.
Look, why don't you go wire up the speakers? Because I don't know how to do that. You need to
And
go
make them work in
wire up
space.
pirate radio so that it plays outside into the vacuum of space. That's
Pluto
a
came
thing you
alive.
could
We're not
do,
using
right?
real-
Yeah. No, I got this.
Okay. It's
right.
the arrogance coming through.
Whatever you do, don't listen to a word of what that radio says.
So okay, I'm gonna head to the engineering section, so as to go wire up the speakers. And
Speakers in space.
Yeah.
This is,
Again, space speakers.
Pluto just came alive. Okay. All right. Physics out the
You're
window.
Right, you're right.
The government tells us that sound doesn't travel in space. We don't know that.
Yes.
Sound in space, that's a conspiracy that sound doesn't work in space.
Yeah.
So you're
All right.
using the pirate radio station to transmit all of Earth's conspiracy theories directly
We're
into
gonna
the giant Pluto.
overload Pluto.
And you can use your counseling techniques to convince Pluto
distract it
that it
long
needs
enough.
to help us.
To distract it long enough to where you can
we need
plug
to
it in the
break
planet
it
gravity.
down mentally before I can rebuild it as our friend.
Scare it
As your
enough
weapon.
so it runs into Planet X itself. Yeah.
Guys, this got really weird.
That's so weird.
Have you
Oh my
listening
god.
to any of this?
What have we done?
Okay, so
So I'm going to go down to the poop deck where he died.
The bowels.
The bowels. And I will. I'm going to eject myself into space at Pluto in the hopes that I can just.
he's going to feed himself into
Yeah,
Pluto
yeah.
to
Go
save
feed
sacrifice.
peace.
A sacrifice.
It's a
self-sacrifice
virgin
myself
sacrifice.
and feed myself to Pluto,
Pluto
and
eats him.
completely
And goes back to
just
sleep.
ignore the doctor's dumb advice. Just sound doesn't travel in space.
I thought that was a
Haven't you
conspiracy.
even
You
seen Alien?
good fucking riddance.
I love that.
Anyway,
He's like,
so
I'm done.
So you just put yourself
Clutches himself.
into a nice coat. Yeah. You just go thugunk, like one of the Tracy brothers in Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
And just like boom.
Right into
and then,
Pluto's
and then you just see
eye.
and you just see Pluto just kind of go. Oh.
And then smile and turn around.
And then it just goes back to sleep. Satiated for another million years. You have fed the great beast.
Like the elder gods.
Hey, look, Newton, you finally did something right. We should have called you Fig Newton.
Mimic,
You know,
I just
I'm
look
gonna
at
miss your disarming humor.
I just look at Mimic and like
I would
pour
give
out
you
the
a
last
finger,
of
but
the
I don't have.
champagne. Mimic and I are like clinking champagne glasses.
And
Just
the
like-
dog.
Oh yeah,
And the dog.
And the dog.
There we
I'm giving
go.
the dog champagne. 'Cause fuck it.
Dr. Sims, congratulations. The last. Remove all those dice out from the table.
I don't think I'm gonna be able to roll this.
The
many
last.
dice.
I've got it in my hand. The last
Yeah,
threat.
I can't.
The last threat has been resolved. It is now time to activate the
Heroically
graviton
has
device and confront the final crisis.
All right,
We have
Mimic.
like 13 white dice to 6 black dice. You could fuck it up with a lot of ones.
Thank you for
But
putting
I think-
that idea in my head.
I think all of us from beyond are looking at you. Oh
Can
wait,
I-
no, add 3 more white dice because you chose your death.
'cause you
Oh
chose
yeah,
the
see,
death.
it did a lot
Big
of
ones or
useful
little
things.
ones?
Yeah.
Big ones
Here,
or little ones?
Here, let me.
So these are filled with the ghosts of your friends, the hopes
roll
and
this
dreams
right here.
of all of humanity. No. I'm gonna.
oh God, I don't
you
know.
Can, you totally can.
I have the smallest
No,
hands.
I know. Look, just
This is why you were the one left behind.
He does have
I
small
believed you. I
hands.
believed in you. All right.
I am somehow
The
holding all
fate
of
of
these
humanity now rests in your hands.
dice. Literally, it's a lot of dice. I can't even. Oh yeah, you hear that, Foley?
Oh yeah.
There's one that's gone.
One that fell.
Wait,
Just re-roll it. There you go.
Hey, it was.
Hey.
That was a good one.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're gonna now cancel a lot of things.
Cancel out a 6 here.
Yeah, one here.
3. Take out that one.
Yeah, and I need a 4. So 2 2s. Oh, there was a 4 over there and a 2. All right, look at all of these. So it's 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27
So
above.
we smoked it.
That's my lucky number.
We smoked it.
Oh.
We didn't just defeat it. We like completely crushed it.
Yeah, because of my heroic
we,
sacrifice.
we in
We, as in Mimic and I, who
Yeah.
I mean really.
What was the number?
27.
Yeah, it was the best of all worlds. Your plan worked perfectly.
Perfectly.
You did it. Not only did you save Earth, all of you who faced the final crisis survived.
Nope.
no.
All of you who faced the
Mimic.
final crisis
Oh,
Hey,
survived.
yeah.
Mimic!
okay.
High five, Mimic!
Because there are some, like, despite the challenges, only one of you survived. So if more than one faces the crisis,
Right.
a few of you die
Is
in
the
the
final
process.
crisis that dice roll or just
It was that
Pluto
crisis.
spit
No.
me out?
No,
No,
Pluto
God,
does
no.
not spit you out.
No, you're
Your
done.
names will become
He's
legend,
slumbering.
and your faces will be on monuments.
So just
On the
Dr.
ship only.
Just Dr. Ariel Sims.
Yeah.
So not only
So-
do you survive, you and Mimic are able to return back to Earth.
And start
And
a life
the
together.
whole world
We have
learns
to-
of what you did.
We have to destroy
And
the
Bones.
black
Bones
hole.
survives.
Bones survives.
Part of it
yeah.
actually seeing Pluto fly through the sky and collide with a black object in the sky that wasn't giving out light.
Right.
The explosion of Pluto and Nibiru brightened the sky brighter than the moon. And for one evening on Earth, everyone learned
Conspiracy
right.
theories are real.
they were right. And you arrived now, Ariel Sims, the one person who wasn't actually part of this cabal, who was like the figurehead of the truth.
You're a numerologist hero.
Oh yeah. Good luck
Yeah,
with that.
I have my like dog-eared copy of the almanac.
Yep.
Right, and I'm just like, yes, this is
Helps me
my
through.
Bible.
Uh-oh.
Look
The
how
whole world's getting
dog-eared it
rewritten.
is.
So we did it. We saved humanity.
Yeah.
Good job, you guys.
And Mimic and I live happily ever after.
With Bones.
With Bones, we adopt Bones
adopt
as our
Bones.
fur child because Mimic only installed USB ports. So, and not even like micro USBs. It's the one that you always have to try 3 times to get the USB.
It's
in
amazing
It.
with only one actual human on board to have to sustain life. The ship runs a lot better because, as it turned out, the Black Knight satellite was only ever built for one person.
So that was the issue all along.
The issue
There was
all
more than
along
one
was there were just
person.
too many people on board.
That explains a lot.
Yeah.
The system was just strange.
And then when we
So the
get,
ship had social anxiety too.
when we get back to Earth, I then also spearhead a campaign to give AIs rights so that Mimic and I can get married.
Oh, Bicentennial Man style. Yeah.
Great
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Bree Makes This Into a Dating Sim.
Join us next time for the next dating sim.
I'll make it a dating sim from afar.
This has been Our Last Best Hope. It's from Magpie Games. It runs on the same system that Norlandia and Questlandia is. It got a little weird near the end, but I mean, of course it did. And
It only got better when it
we're
got
going
weird.
to break down what we thought in the debrief. If you're a Patreon supporter, you can go join us there and listen to what we thought about this style of play. It's a little different when there's no GM. I mean, I had to just remind everyone what the rules were, so I kind of took on that role, but I'm not telling you what to do either.
Well, I
It's
mean,
just very-
that is kind of the role of the
weird.
captain.
Yeah,
They do
so-
build in like a mini GM.
Yeah, mini GM, GM-ish. GM lowercase.
Jim
Jim.
Legs.
Just Jim.
Just Jim.
Jim. I have been your Jim. Maurice Arrington, the founder of this mission. I just want to know when I die, don't forget to name a mountain after me. Justin Ecock, and I have been surrounded around the table by your saviors of humanity.
Joshua Barbeau playing Jim Grimshaw, survived by his dog Bones.
Bones Grimshaw.
Bones lives on. Bones lives.
Bone Shaw's ready.
Shaw's ready.
I'm so glad we got that in.
Followed up by Adam Luker playing Tracy Trickshot Schuler, and as you can tell, I like doing accents.
You're really good at those.
Yeah, we got to return to Neo Toronto. You did some great voices in that game too with the corporations.
Bree Poisonne playing your lone survivor and hero again. Thank you.
How many times do I have to save the world?
God, nobody else does anything around here. Dr. Ariel Sims.
She tried so hard to die. We
did.
wouldn't let her.
Okay,
We
would you
wouldn't
like
let her.
to really quick?
please,
Really quick.
please.
My death card was, and this is the one that Justin and I actually joked about a lot when
What if
it
you
was
got this one?
revealed that I loved Mimic. Was you will die to prove you care. So every time Mimic malfunctioned, I was like, guys, this is really hard to like.
No, you have to kill yourself to prove to Mimic that you care about them.
Yeah, like it's real fucked up. It's just like, no, Mimic, I'll save you. I'll die instead. That's not gonna leave you fucked up at all. Bye.
Mimic, put your mind into mine and kill me in the process, but live on in my perfectly human form.
Best of both worlds. But
We
yeah,
can
I
be
didn't,
together.
I didn't die. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
And Brent Morris playing Newton Crane, the valiant software engineer that.
And virgin
You just
sacrifice.
noped out in the final act. You just went, no, nope,
Yeah,
I'm out."
basically.
God,
Humming the entire way.
Delicious.
God, I'm stuck on this fucking spaceship with a drunk and her AI lover. Like I'm fucking out.
You're being
Hey,
digested
hey.
for 1,000
Louise.
years in the mouth of Pluto.
So he's in Pluto. Pluto ate him, and then we shot
Yeah, I
Pluto
know.
into Nibiru. So you got shot into Nibiru.
You
Yeah,
were the
I
trick
s-
shot.
I saved the world. You're welcome.
I never mention you again.
Join us on Patreon. This is the thing about having a top secret mission with no names involved. You can just make up whatever history you want.
Yep.
Join us on Patreon for the debrief. Ho ho! Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting us. Be good to each other. Until next time.
And that is it for Our Last Best Hope. If you're a Patreon supporter, you can head over now to patreon.com/terriblewarriors and listen to the debrief episode of this campaign. What did we think about this campaign without a GM? How did we like that twist ending? What were the things we liked and didn't like? They're all on that debrief at patreon.com/terriblewarriors. And if you like our long-form stories, consider subscribing to our spin-off podcast, The Cambridge Chronicles, at terriblewarriors.com/Cambridge Chronicles, or search for it wherever you find podcasts. Mike the Birdman Dodd is still playing through his ongoing Dungeons & Dragons story with his crew from Guelph. Every Friday, a new episode for the Cambridge Chronicles. Follow us on Twitter at Dice Warriors. Hang out in our Discord channel. Tell us how we're doing. And consider supporting us on patreon.com/Terrible Warriors. You'll gain access to debrief episodes, you'll get postcards in the mail, you might even be named in the game as an NPC character, or sit around the table and roll dice with us. Today's Terrible Warriors, and humanity's last best hope, were Bree Poisonne, Adam Luker, Brent Morris, Justin Ecock, and Joshua Barbeau. Next week, the Terrible Warriors return to the Star Trek Adventures Living Campaign in a story entitled The Tug of War. The crew of the Horizon have been sent out to investigate the mysterious signals coming from Sigma Libre. But will they be able to uncover the mystery and be able to escape and return to tell Starfleet what they found? Oh, that all starts next week, right here on the Terrible Warriors.